We only have a week left of May, and I have been in a reading slump all month. So, even though it's like a week left, we're gonna go through my May TBRs. If you did not know, for the entire month of May, I've only been reading books by AAPI authors, so these are all books by AAPI authors. Let's get into it. Spin It On is on my TBR list for the month of May. This is an Elizabeth Lim book who also wrote Six Crimson Cranes, who also wrote several of my TBR lists by Elizabeth Lim. This sounds really, really interesting, and honestly, I've just been in a slump. Like, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm just having a hard time finding the inspiration to read. But I feel like this will very much give female empowerment, so I'm excited to read that one next. The next one on my TBR is The Dragon's Promise. This is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes, so we're still following Princess Shiori, but now she has this giant mission of returning the pearl, and I'm hoping that the dragon, who was not really in the first book all that much, who reminded me so much of the dragon from Spirited Away, okay, I think this is like their story a bit more, and I believe there's going to be a bit of a love triangle, so I'm really excited to read this one. On the Elizabeth Lim kick, I also have Her Radiant Curse, which I was wrong. I thought this was going to be the third trilogy and the Crimson Crane series. It's not. It's a whole separate world. Maybe it's the same world, but I think it's an entirely separate story, which I thought it was going to be following the stepmom. It doesn't. Okay. I also got this at an indie bookstore for only like $3. Rich People Problems. Don't come for me, but I've never even read Crazy Rich Asians, but I love the movie. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I wanted to get this anyways, and I'm really excited to read this because I feel like it'll be a very easy read. After I finished Six Crimson Cranes, that's when my reading slump kind of began because it was such a fast-paced and really interesting book, but it was also really sad, so I wanted a little bit of a breather, and ever since then, I just felt like I couldn't really find my flow again. But it's okay. I'm reading Once Upon a K-Prom right now, and it's like gotten me back. Also, I've been very sick. And then I'm very much into the Chinese historical fantasy right now. So we have Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. I just think this is one of the most beautiful covers. It's right up my alley. It's pretty, it's pastel, and it's dragons, okay? If you're catching a theme, 4 of these are Chinese historical fantasy. And I kind of feel like I overdid that because I feel like that's just too much of the same vibe, and I think that's why I'm kind of bored. And we have The Teller of Small Fortunes. This is really sweet, okay? But you can see how far I got. I did genuinely try to read this. I'm just a little, I don't know, I'm a little bit in a slump, and this was a little bit too slow for me, although I do think it'll still be very, very interesting. I also have Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune. This was the very first one I attempted to read after Six Crimson Cranes. I was like, let me read something happy. Let me read something positive. I never even read the back of this book. And right away, we're talking about deceased parent and the grief of that. And I was like, I don't think I'm in the right headspace for this. I thought it would be like really funny, but it's all about like the story of grief and like overcoming that and how to move on with your life. And a really important story. I just don't think I'm quite there. This is my physical TBR. On my Kindle, I only have 2 TBRs right now for the month of May. Is Babel. I tried starting Babel as well. I'm quite far. No, it's a pretty good sized book. I'm not that far. It is really good, but it's sad as well. I was like, okay, I don't know what made me think that a book like Babel or Poppy War, because I started with Poppy War right after Six Crimson Cranes, also would be like happy and like everyone was just always talking about R.F. Kuang. They weren't really talking about them in that much detail, just like their books are so good you have to read them. These books are sad. These books are really, really sad and like dark and intense, which if you go on Goodreads, like you'll know that. I didn't. I just took you guys' advice, okay? They are good, but like you need to know the headspace you gotta be in if you're trying to read a book like that. So when the time comes, we got Babel and we also got Poppy War, and then of course just all of R.F. Kuang's books. I wanted to read Yellowface as well as Catabasis when that comes out. So, and I know that's gonna be all the craze in August. That is all of my TBR for the month of May. Let me know which one of these should be bumped to the top. There's no way I'm gonna finish all these, but that's May.